we killed him with the last one.
It is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent that survive. It is the ones that is most adapted to change. Charles Darwin.
Adaptation is a trait with the current functional role in life of an organism that is maintained and evolved by means of natural selection. We believe that adaptation is the best of natural selection because without adaptation, organisms wouldn't be able to survive. It involves taking practical actions to manage risks from climate impacts, protect communities, and strengthen the resilience of the economy. Adaptation refers to dealing with the impacts of climate change. Adaptations can take many forms: a behavior that allows better evasion of predators, protection that functions better at body temperature, or an anatomical feature that allows the organisms to access a valuable new resource. All of these might be adaptations.
Competition. Competition is a big factor in all living organisms. Every living organism on Earth needs a resource in order to survive. For animals, the three main resources that they need in order to survive are oxygen, food, and water. For plants, the only two resources that they need are oxygen and sunlight so they can photosynthesize. Competition plays a big role in the animal kingdom because there isn't enough resources for all animals, so they must fight for their food and battle for their own ground.
The competing of animals also make a big influence on the size population. When two different species compete, it's called interspecies competition. When they are the same species, it's called intraspecies competition. In conclusion, evolution has showed us that the most well-adapted animals usually survive competing because they are most adapted to their environment.
I don't know this.
Overproduction is when species tend to produce more individuals than can survive to maturity. This means that one pair will produce so much offspring that they will struggle to survive. But this is not a bad thing. This is actually very good. Every species has traits that vary among individuals. Therefore, there is a chance for improvements or changes in populations or species DNA. For example, these zebras. And these hippos. Some traits help an individual to produce more successfully or to survive long enough to produce more offspring. For example, these cats. And these cats. There is no exception to the rule that every organic being naturally increases at so high a rate that if not destroyed, the earth would soon be covered by the progeny of a single pair. Therefore, overproduction is actually very good because it gives the top of the food chain more food to survive and reproduce. Thank you for listening.
Modification is simply passing traits from parent to offspring, and this concept is one of the fundamental ideas from Charles Darwin's theory of evolution. If you have a child, you're probably already aware of this.
Individual organisms having a phenotype characteristic providing an advantage in staying alive to successfully reproduce will pass their phenotype traits more frequently to the next generation.
Over time, in generation, the traits providing reproductive advantages become more common within the trait.
You pass traits on to your children in a process known as heredity. The unit of heredity is a gene. Genes are little bundles of information that are responsible for almost every aspect of a human or any other organism for that material.
For example, 2 beetles reproduce from one baby beetle. However, there is a mutation during the process and that baby beetle is discolored, lacking natural camouflage in its habit living in a tree trunk.
As a result, the baby beetle cannot hide from predators and is eaten quickly. The baby beetle did not have a chance to pass its genes on, so it had how low fitness and was selected against. Bye.
From one population to another and is an important source of genetic variation. In this example of dogs, it shows how their ancestor is from the gray wolf. This explains how mutations in DNA can have a huge effect in variation. Within one species, there can be so much variation where it's impossible to believe a Chihuahua and a Great Dane are both related to the gray wolf, even though they are so different.